All right. Welcome to yet another masterclass training today. Now, today we're going to be looking at a very vital training which centers on how you can use the C2FG system to be able to generate the kind of income that you needed, basically to be able to help you to become a monthly millionaire, to start earning at least ₦1 million every month. Now, this is a 6 months plan. This is called the Millionaire Project Plan. Now, this basically shows you how you can work with this plan, and then in a matter of 6 months, it will amaze you where you're going to be financially. Now, but let me say it, this project plan is specifically meant for people who are ready to be extraordinary. So it's not meant for people who do not want to know where they're going to. It's meant for people who are extraordinary, who wants to be extraordinary, people who actually are tired of where they are, and you want to have a plan that you know that is foolproof, that if you follow it step by step, it can yield you what you desire. So let's go. It's called a Millionaire Project Plan, otherwise known as Teach 8 to Teach 8. So I'm going to be showing you a plan on how you can work basically with 8 persons in a matter of 6 months, and it will amaze you where you are going to get to. It's a simple practical steps to become a monthly millionaire in 6 months. Let's go on a journey. What is the advantage of taking on this project plan? Now, the first thing is that it is doable. There's something anyone can do. The markets, there is a wide market reach. Now, that is to say, if you are within Nigeria, we have about almost about 200 million population in Nigeria alone. And this is a system that is not limited by any geographic limitation. So it's actually a global business, a global platform. But if you are in Nigeria, Nigeria alone gives you almost 200 million population. So there's a wide market reach and greater opportunity. It's a good platform for the greater number of people to create wealth. So if you've actually been looking for a platform for wealth creation, this is a very veritable one that can help you. Or you have a number of persons who have been looking for what to do, who have been looking for a system that can, give them that wealth that they wanted to have. This is also a platform. Now, it is also affordability. Now, the minimum amount to start with, in this system, to plug into this system, is basically about 79,990 naira, which is relatively affordable by a greater number of people. Now, for students, it could even be, it could even be less than this, but specifically for students, that's on a special case. But a minimum of 79,990, with it, you are able to build something which is most people are likely to afford. Now, the next thing is that this is, the product is released. It's a product based, and products is released, thereby giving people immediate value for their money. So this particular amount of money that you are kickstarting, plugging yourself into the system with, is actually not for the system at all. It's that you are going to have a value for your money, which is in the product. So, and the product is readily available. And the next thing is that this is people oriented. The system is people oriented, which gives all sense of responsibility. Now, it's a system that is focused on people. So you are actually get into the system and you are not let alone, to try to figure out how you do it. There is a laid down procedure for mentorship, and you'll be taken care of on that. Now, it's also result oriented. In fact, you is measurable. So the result you get here is measurable. You can have a short-term and long-term income generation, projection. So it's measurable. It's not something that you are into and you're wondering what happens, wondering what to do. Now, let's look at another thing. What would you expect from this? What to expect from this? One, at the end of this, if you have been into our C2FG system, now you know our structure, the structure of leadership and the structure of performance. So the first thing that this will enable you to do at the end of these 6 months that you run this project is that you become a 2 Comma Club member. Now, what does it mean? You start generating over ₦1 million monthly, and this will happen in your 3rd month if you follow strictly this plan. Now, the second thing is that you become a millionaire mentor. Now, you would have raised someone who earns over ₦1 million in a month, and this becomes possible for you. You would have raised this person, in your 4th month, and also it helps you in rank advancements. You can become a gold executive in 4 months and global ambassador in 8 months. Now look at it. The system, if you're already a connector with C2FG, you know that the system rewards rank advancements. And with rank advancement, you earn more money. The system is not just in the matching bonus and the direct connector bonus. There is much money to be earned, through the other means. Now, it is also, it helps you to earn more income. You activation of other ways of earning in the system, that is in the comp plan. Now, it doesn't end, as I said, it doesn't just end at matching bonus and direct connector bonus. There's much more for you to earn through the system. In fact, the actual residual income does not lies majorly on the other ways of earning, which is in the rank advancement. You begin to earn when you advance in rank. So let's move on. It also it helps you. You can actually make over 45 million naira in a year with just this 79,990 startup. And I'm going to show you how this works, but this is what you expect. Now, if you are to run these projects, you must have certain attitude. You cannot become successful, running this project if you don't have this attitude I'm about to show you now. Now, the number one thing is this: you must have a sense of urgency and commitment. You must be time conscious. You don't give room for complacency or any negative energy. Don't allow anyone, not even your partner, to slow your pace, and your level of commitment. You have to act fast in learning and doing the activities until you build momentum. That's the fact. Now, the next thing is that you must have a sense of being in a challenge. You can't just, walk with this plan sluggishly. You must know that you are in a challenge. Therefore, you must envisage the fact that this is not just business as usual. This is a projected plan, and you must be strategic. You can't use the same level of energy and commitment of someone who is not in a challenge. You must be above average. So that's the thing. Now, the next thing you must know, the attitude you must have, is that you should have a sense of sacrifice and teamwork. Now, this is where you work with a group of persons. This is where you have the attitude of sacrifice. You know that this calls for temporary suspension of self-esteem. Now, you must get into the mood of doing things that you don't mind what people say. Be willing to help others grow, and as well, you must also have business wisdom. Now, by applying back a little of your income into the business to give you even greater results. Now, what I'm saying is this: in your first month, your second month, you would have earned some tangible amount of money. Now, in order for you to push this, there might be need for you to plow back a part, just a percentage of what you have earned into the business, so as to meet up with this target. with this project. So it's a plan that you must have that, sense of sacrifice. Now, what other attitude must you have? You must know that it's a journey to financial freedom. Now, ultimately, you are on a journey to financial freedom. You must recognize the fact that that freedom is not freely given, but must be fought for. That's what the attitude you must have. Then the final attitude you must build, you must have the attitude that this is built to last. You must have the attitude of building an empire. If you are just a mediocre, now I advise you, this is not for you. You must have that attitude of building something that can last beyond you. Have the foresight that you are building a generational system of wealth creation, a wealth empire, something that would outlive you, a legacy for the next generation. This is the attitude you must have in order to, make a meaning out of these projects. Now let's continue. Now, how does this project work? Let me give you a pictorial representation of the step-by-step, from where it begins to where as it progresses and then where it gets you to. Now, the first thing is that one is all about people. The first thing is that it's all about people, your social networks and all that, your connectivity. So it's about people. So from people, you move to, the activity, you learn what to do. There are a number of activities that will help you to navigate and help you to be successful in this project. So the activity, and the good thing is that there are a number of leaders who are out there, to help you understand how to, carry on with this activity and direct and guide you to help you to achieve that. Now, from activity, then you get to, personal consumption. Now, you see why I told you that, you need to plow back part of, what you, make out of the system. You have to get to a point that you also need to, have a personal consumption attitude. Now, in other words, because this is what's actually going to help you to rise in rank, to activate the other ways of earning. Now, from the personal consumption, then you get to income. It brings about the income. Now, when the income begins to come, now what next? Your dream. You can then have your dream. So this is the step-by-step, procedure, the step you're going to go through in order to, effectively run with this project. Now, let's get to the project proper. Let's get to it proper. Now, let me show you the formula you need to use here. Now, what to do. Now, the first thing is this, as you get into the business, let's assume this is your month one. Now, what do? You simply connect two persons. Simply connect two persons and then you consume one. I'll tell you how it works. Now, what it means, that is every week. Now, what it means is this, that by your first month, you'll connect about 8 persons to the system. Just connect about 8 persons to the system. Don't bother how you are going to do that. I'm going to show you. If I will have several trainings and guidance on how you do this. So connect 8 persons and then consume 4 in just a month. Now I'm going to show you how this works. Now look at the power of the program. Now look at it. Connect 8 partners. That is 8 partners that get connected to the system. Just the same way you did. Now I also tell you that even the student pack that which is meant for students, not for men, not for for people, students, that it can also actually count for this, but I'm focusing on this particular package. So get 8 persons, connect 8 persons, 8 partners who get registered in a month. And then consume 1 box of C247. C247 is one of the products that you actually that forms part of what your money got you. Now, when you do that per week, just 1 box per week, now that means that in 4 weeks, that is in 1 month, you would have consumed 4 boxes of C247. Now, what it means is this, that you just make a conscious effort that you will consume either one in a per week or 4 per month. Then remember, you connect 8 persons in the first place. So now let's assume you connected to the system just with one profit center, which is 79,990. Now let me also say it. Now, if you are just a new connector, you have that is you just connected today, or you're just about connecting today, and you happen to see this project. Now, there are 2 things open to you. You either start the consumption, this month as well, or you leave it for next month. Now, if you start next month, it's still okay as a new connector, because you just the first money you paid is for a product also, and so it got you some products so you can also consume. So maybe you start your second month. But look, for old partners, now you are to run this, you start your consumption, that first month that you start running this. Now, what does this mean? You'll start with one profit center, for instance. This is what is going to be. This one profit center, you connect 8 persons. Remember, you have your left and right. And then how are the 8 persons going to be positioned? Just like this, as you are seeing on the screen there. So that's 8 persons. Now, what happens here? Remember, you have the direct connector bonus, right? Direct connector bonus, which is at this point in time is going to be 20,000 naira each person. For each person you connect to the system with this ED3.0 package, you get paid, that is for 79,990. If you have, the other multiple accounts, it pays you more. But I'm just using this very 79,990 that everybody can, majority of people can afford. Now, for each of the 8 persons you connected, you got paid 20,000 naira. That means 20,000 times 8. That gives you 160,000 naira. And then for the matching bonus, which is 7,000 naira each, you get matched 1, 2, 3, then 4. Got matched 4 times. So if you have 28,000 plus 160,000, it gives you 188,000 naira. This is what you earn in your first month. You just connected 8 persons only. So this is what you earn in your first month. So let's represent it, in the graph here. This is the 6 months plan. Now you connected, just with one profit center, and then, which is 79,990, that's your startup. And then in your first month, you connect 8 persons, just 8 persons to the system. And then remember, you earn 20,000 on each of them as direct connector bonus. Then you have matching bonus of 7,000 times 4. Now, altogether becomes 188,000 naira. That's what you earn in your first month. But it gets better as you progress. Now, what happens in the second month? The second month is this. Now, these 8 persons that you've connected to the system, now all that is your focus at this point in time is not to, be struggling to connect other people. No, just focus on these 8 persons. Work with them. Let them also do the same thing you did. Let them connect their, 8 persons. Now, when each of them connect their 8 persons, now what happens here? It means that you have, in that your second month, about 64 people have connected to your business. Now look at what happens here. Now, so you will earn 179,200 naira. When I've done the calculation already, so I wouldn't want to start, ruffling your head, you're trying to figure out how I did the calculation, but this is what you get in your second month, 179,200 naira. You will wonder, why is it that the first amount is bigger than the second one? Yes, because in this case now, what you are now dealing with is just only matching bonus. You are no longer counting the direct connector bonus, because you are not the person that connected these 64 persons now. It is the 8 persons you connected. So then we have the direct connector bonus. So the focus here is for you to focus on the matching bonus now. Now look at what happens. In your third month, this 64 persons, each of them will now connect their own aids. Now, what it means is that for the second generation 8 persons, we have 64 persons, and it goes like that. Now, the 8 persons, the 64 persons connecting their own aids. Now, what it means is that you are going to have 512. But let's look at what it fetches you in your third month. Now, in your third month, it fetches you 1,433,600. Now, how did I get this? This is how I got this. Now, if you look at 64, in your third month, you have 64 people. Now, if these 64 people should connect 8 persons each, it will give you 512 people. Now, what it means here is this, that 512 people, remember you have only one account, so you have left and right, has to be divided by 2, the binary aspects. So you have 256 on one side, 256 on the other side. Now, when you match it by 7, 256 by 7. Now, what it means is this, 256 times 7,000 is going to give you, some 1.6 million naira. But you know what happens? In the course of this system, for anybody that you connect to the system, when you match the first, second, third, up to 8 times, you're going to be paid that 7,000 up to the 8 times. Now, the next matching of 9th and 10th one, now the company will actually not pay you in cash. There's what is called gift check. So it will go to gift check. Gift check means that the money will be there, the point will be there for you to either use it to pick a product to use, or you leave it for vacation. Now, for us, what we usually do is that you can leave that for vacation, or again, you can leave that, for you to use it to pick gadgets, electronic gadgets like, smartphones, laptops, iPads, and the rest of them. So that's what that 9th and 10th one can fetch you. So I have done the calculation removing, the 9th and 10th one that is in that 256 matching. So what it now gives you is 1.4 million naira, 1,433,600 naira. That's what it gives you. Now let's look at your 4th month. Now your 4th month, you have 512 people in your 4th month. Now, by the way, by your 4th month, you will actually rise in rank. Remember that you consume, 1 each week, or you consume 4, each month. Now, and that is how you rise in rank. And so as you do that, and as also your, the people you connect to the system you are working with, as they also continue, because they're also running the same project, make sure that, these 8 persons are running the project so that there'll be continuity. Now, by your 4th month, you would become either a silver executive or gold executive prime in your 4th month. Now, let's look at your earning in your 4th month. By your 4th month, you will now have 512 people, right? Now, each of these 512 people connect 8 persons. Now, what does it mean? Now, in your 4th month, you are going to earn 5.6 million naira. Now, when each of your 8 persons connect, each of your 512 people connect 8 persons, it means that each of them is going to be 4,096. Now, at this point in time, remember that we told you that there is a safety net for, the matching. If you match a certain number of matching per day, there's going to be a flushing, organic flushing. Now, this organic flushing means that I'm just using 36 matchings in a day. Now, if you match 36 matching in a day, now there's going to be flushing. So at this point in time, at your 4th month, there is, all things being equal, there's likely to be flushing at this point if all of them are going at the same speed. But there is margin of error here, that there is a possibility that one side of, this, your system of these people that you're working with might be moving faster than the others. Now, it will cure this flushing aspect. It will stay, but the fact remains that the maximum you just earn in a month, if you have reached that level, is about 5.6 million naira, 5,616,000 naira. So that is it. And what will happen here is that benchmark has already been set, even in your 5th month. So no matter the number of connection, in that 5th month, you will still earn the same 5,616,000 naira because of that benchmark. Now, I'll show you how this can get better if you have multiple accounts. I'm also going to do that. Now, in your 6th month, no matter the number of persons, you can see the number of persons that, that system is going to bring, your side, bring to your business. But no matter the number, what remains is that there's going to be just that 5,616,000 naira. So it's going to remain static, but I'll show you how you can get better. Now, if you look at the total income you have earned in 6 months, is 18.6 million naira. Now, let's look at this scenario. 18.6 million naira in 6 months, 6 months income, one profit center. What if you are not able to earn up to this, exactly 100% of this? Let's say it's just 50% you earn. That's about 9.3 million naira. But let's say you didn't even earn up to 50%, and it's just 20%, effort you are able to garner from this. That's 3.7 million naira. You see how with one profit center, you can actually, with 20% efforts, you can actually earn up to 3.7 million naira. That is, if you don't even put in 50% or 100%. So that is how it works. Now let's look at you having a better platform, a better settings, a better business plan. You come with multiple accounts. Let's say you have triple profit center, and then with trade profit center it even get better, because whereas you start one profit center with 79,990. Now, with trade profit center, there is a kind of advantage for you, that the higher the package is, the lesser the amount, the startup amount. So with trade profit center, you start with 129,990. But let's look at your first month. Now, your first month, you just connect still 8 persons, right? Now, remember, you will still earn the 20,000 naira on each of the 8, which will give you that 160,000, and then you still have the matching bonus in this time around. You are going to have matching bonus in 8 places, because you have 2 additional accounts, so you are earning in 3 places. So the matching is going to happen in 3 places. So you are going to have in your first month 216,000 naira. Now let's look at your second month. Remember what I showed you in the first scenario, that is in the one profit center, the same arithmetic, the same thing will repeat itself, the same level of connection. But you know what happens here? Because you have 3 profit center, the matching will happen in 3 places. And this is what you are going to earn in your second month, 403,200 naira. Now, in your third month, now, still the same number of connection, but the advantage here is that you have 3 profit center, so it's going to match you in 3 places. So you are going to have 2.9 million naira. Now look at what I did here. Now, at a point, as you are starting, it's actually paying you 7,000 naira. But you know that the system is this: once you match up to the 300 matching, the system is going to start paying you 6,500. So what I did here is that at this your third month with 3 accounts, some actually match you 7,000 naira, while some match you 6,500. But what I did was that I choose 6,500. So that margin of error, I still, leave it out there so that even you see that even what I'm showing you, you can actually make much more than that. But I'm just using the worst case scenario. So with in your third month, you have 2,995,200 naira. That's what you earn. Now, in your fourth month, remember you become a silver executive or gold executive prime within the fourth month. Now, I've already told you how you get that done by your consumption. And then in your fourth month, now look at what you earn. Now, remember that I have factored in both the 6,500, per matching. And I've also factored in the gift check here, because whatever you get here, you need to divide by, 0.8 to remove the gift check. So I've all done that. I've done all the calculation. And what you have with Trade Profit Center in your fourth month is 16.2 million naira. That's what you're going to earn. Now, in your fifth month, now remember at this point now that some of the accounts, especially your account 1, have already reached the maximum, but your account 2 and 3 did not reach the maximum at your fourth month. Now, but in your fifth month, all of them will reach the maximum. So you just have the maximum. You are going to earn maximally 5.6 million naira on each of these accounts. And so it's going to give you 16.8 million naira. In your sixth month, because you have max, it's going to repeat the same thing. It's still the same amount you are going to earn in your sixth month. It's not going to increase because that's the max you can earn, in a month per account. Now that's the max in terms of the matching bonus. But because you have a 10 ranking, you're actually going to earn more than this through the step bonus, the UPP bonus, that is Unipay Plan bonus, Unilevel bonus. But I am not dwelling on those ones. I am not telling you about those ones. But those are the additional income you are going to earn. So whatever I show you here, you are actually going to earn more. If you run this thing and you get it 100%, you are likely to earn more. So total for 6 months with 3 accounts, you have 53.5 million naira. Now let's look at this. What if it just your 6 months plan summary, Trade Profit Center, 6 months total income earning 53,576,000 naira. But what if you didn't achieve 100% and it's just 50% you achieve? Now you're going to earn 26.7 million naira. Now further, what if you just achieve only 20%? Now, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to earn 10.7 million naira. Now, let me show you the final one I'm going to do this with. So you remember that you have, 1 profit center, 3 profit center, 7 profit center, 15 profit center, and of course, the mega verse, which is 31 profit center, which is building an empire. Now, but I'm going to limit this training to just 7 profit center. So I've shown you 1 profit center, I've shown you 3 profit center. Now let's move to the 7 profit center. Now with 7 profit center, this is you, stays the 6 months plan. Now you connected, you start up with 7 profit center. Now your start up amount is 259,990. Ordinarily, this should have cost you 500 and something thousand naira. But because as you get higher with higher packages, the lesser the amount. So imagine if you had purchased 79,990 times 7, that's 500, over 500,000. But just with 259,990, you have it. Now let's look at your plan. Your 6 months plan, you'll still connect 8 persons, just 8 persons. Now, and you will earn 244,800. You already know how I got this. Your direct connector bonus and then your matching bonus. Now, because you have multiple accounts here, 7 profit center is going to match in 7 places. So you actually have 12 matches in your first month with these same 8 persons you have. Now, let's look at your second month. Now, this your first 8, connect 8 each. And in your second month, you are going to earn 627,200 naira. Now, still remember how I got to this from that, first, from the start. Now, in your third month with your 7 profit center, you're going to earn 4.6 million naira. That's 4,659,200 naira. Now, at this point, remember again, I have removed, I've removed the gift check. I've equally, reduced this to 6,500 so as to eliminate any, surplusage, just margin of error. Now, let's look at your 4th month. In your 4th month, remember you become either silver executive or gold executive prime in your 4th month. Now, in your 4th month, this is your income. At this point in time, all your 7 accounts, some of your 7 accounts are going to be, maxing, especially account 1. Now, because it's maxing, when you check what you've earned with these numbers, then you are going to have earned 29,577,600 naira in your 4th month. Now, in your 5th month, all your 7 accounts are going to be maxing. That means you're going to be earning maximum of 5.6 million naira on each of your 7 accounts. Now, and what does it mean? It means that you are going to be earning 39,312,000 naira, because that means 5,616,000 naira times 7. You're going to have that's 9,312,000 naira. In your 6th month, the amount is not going to change because you are already maxing your account. So it remains at 9,312,000 naira. Now, the totality of what you have earned in 6 months with 7 accounts is about 113,732,000 naira. 113.7 million naira. Now, let's look at the summary for 6 months. 7 profit center, 6 months total income earning, 113,732,000 naira. What if it stays just 50% success rates? That means you're going to earn 56.8 million naira. But what if you just achieve still 20% efforts? Now, that means 20% is just a failure, but even as you fail, you fed into wealth as well. So we are going to have 22.7 million naira, just 20%, success rates. So this is the project. It is as rare as anything, as rare as mathematics. Is just, arithmetics. So now, if you are to achieve this, you must have strategies. Now, so what are the strategies to achieve your targets? Let me show you the strategies you need to employ, deploy into this so that you can have your achieve your success. Now, use the system. That's the basic thing you need to do. Use the system. Now, what's the first thing you need to do? As you connect to this, to the system, as you connect to this platform, the first thing you need to do is submit your first, 50 to 100 contact list within the next 48 hours of connecting to the, business. Don't joke with it. Now, I'm assuming that you just connected to the system now, or you're about to connect to the system and you happen to see this. So don't joke with it. Within 48 hours, make sure you submit your contact list. Now, arrange for your home lunch or office lunch, or even church or mosque lunch or whatever lunch it is, launch your business. Now, we are going to tell you, you don't just start launching anything. We'll have a procedure on doing this. In fact, we will teach you how to do this. So within the first 2 weeks, in fact, in your second week, you need to have arranged for your home lunch or office lunch. Now, people you want to connect to the business. So target about 4 launches in a month. We're going to help you, figure out how you're going to do this. Now, the next strategy is that you need to use the instant, prospecting and inviting scripts. There is what we call the instant prospecting and inviting. In fact, you don't need to wait for, the people to even be called. We can teach you how you can smartly, connect these people, directly, by yourself without explaining anything to them. We'll teach you that. Now, the next thing you need to do is you have to submit yourself to the mentorship, connect to the mentorship platform. We have the various degrees of mentorship here. And then the first one you need to do within the first 4 weeks, within the first month you connect to the systems, go through the SMO checklist. SMO is standard method of operation. And now you'll be added to, you purchase your SMO checklist. Now it is used to monitor your progress. Now there are a number of simple tasks, simple training that you need to go through. That is part of your mentorship. It's part of what we promise you, including the masterminds mentorship. So you'll be added to the week 1 platform and you go through, 4 weeks. So you will have week 1, week 2, 3, 4, and all that. So at each time you have just simple trainings that you go through. So you do that in 4 weeks. You should do that within a record time. Now, once you have accomplished that, you qualify as a kinsman. That's that. Now, join the online daily sale meeting, which just lasts for about just 1 hour, between Monday and Friday, to learn the rudiment of the business. That's part of the mentorship. Now, the next thing that you need, the next strategy you need to, deploy here is the skills. You need to learn the skill and engage in the activities that bring results in the business. Now, there is what we call the DMO, daily method of operation. We're going to teach you that equally. Now, with that, it will help you to do the activities that brings the income, so that you don't go wasting your time. You acquire the skills that enables you to do the activities that brings the income, because this is for serious-minded people. Now, the last but not the least is that you will be subjected to supervision, because somebody, your mentor, is going to supervising you to ensure that you are doing the correct thing. So ensure that everyone you connect, and also the people that you connect to the system as well, these people that you are working with, as we mentor you, you also need to be supervising them as well, to ensure that everyone you connect to the business goes through the same training in their first week of connecting, in their first, the 4 weeks, training, the SMO checklist and the rest of them. Just keeping an eye on them through as we are even still mentoring you. So this is actually what, this is the strategy that you need to adopt to make it. So ensure your new connectors repeat the same process that you took. This is the strategy you engage yourself with. Use the system, go through the mentorship platforms, learn the skills, and then supervise. These 4 strategies will help you to achieve this. So thank you so much. And I know that you, after going through this, you might have a question. The leaders are available. You can ask questions. Just pencil down your questions, and then we will take it up. Now, all the things I've told you here, don't crack your, your head. Don't bother how you are going to go about it. All the trainings and mentorship and all that, we already have them figured out. We have subsequent coaching and guidance on how you are going to activate each of the things that you need to do that will help you in this journey. So congratulations and welcome to the Millionaire Project plan. The plan to, usher you into monthly earning in the next 6 months. Thank you and God bless you.